Anyways, all right, we're gonna be going over some of the Kanye doc for episode one. It was such a great documentary. Um, it's definitely emotional. There is so much content to actually cover, but one of the things that stood out was during his path, man. During his path was it was like a you could see you know the feeling of being on the precipice of something great, but you can't quite touch it just yet. And the first episode is kind of gives you a glimpse of how it really feels to be on your way to something. And Kanye working so hard and everybody's trying to pigeonhole him. Like nobody really truly believed in Kanye. They believed they liked the beats. They liked to corner him into the producer section, but they didn't want to give him the rapper label. You understand? And at that time, rappers were something. They were only one thing at that time. There was either you had to be street, you had to have some type of credentials, you had to be, you know what I mean, like that. So that was like rap at back then was an extension of real life, grimy and gritty. And Kanye came in with something different. You understand? And having a vision, and this is where Kanye separates himself, and you could see how how he actually how him having a vision of where he wanted to go um, really separated him from his peers because he wanted to do something absolutely different. You understand? He wanted to talk about Jesus. He wanted to talk about college. He wanted to talk about his own experiences being, yeah, I mean, being, uh, what's the word? Just overlooked. Like to see all of those guys, like, yeah, I mean, and didn't give him his it didn't give him any recognition and try to look over him. You understand? But that is when that usually happens. It's people are threatened by, you understand, like, and have this belief that you could be something that they can't. You understand? And one of the things I remember Jay talked about, is like people projecting their own limitations on you, and you could see all throughout the first episode of the doc that was taking place. I don't know how many different people, you understand, that was their major artists. They would just, I mean, looked at him as, I mean, just this producer. I mean, he was more than that at the time, and still is. He's still creating. He's stepped into fashion. He's stepped into music. He has art. He has, like just live performances. His production is ridiculous as far with beats. I didn't even H to the Izzo. The fact that he did that, he did most of the black. He did some of the Black album, and the tracks that he did off the Black album was retarded. Oh my god! Can we get another Watch the Throne 2? Can we get one more? And watching Kanye ascend, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy by sheer force. You understand? And hard work. You don't For him to to make it and blast off from a place where there was nobody. There is nobody there doing it. You know what I mean? From Chicago, it had Common, but that was about it. But like he literally put that city on his back and took off, even when, you understand, he didn't have the street. He had no street credentials. You understand? Like he didn't have none of that. None of the gritty, grimy. But he had passion, and that sometimes get overlooked. And the way the industry tries to minimize black talent is ridiculous. Um, and he had that vision for himself, man. That documentary is like a reminder to creators when you're making and you're on a path and you have this vision of where you want to go. It's You're not gonna get the. You're the only one that could see that vision. Like in your head, in your own head, you're the only one that could see the destination and where you're trying to take things. And it's very hard sometimes to get people to see what you're seeing in your head. It's hard to pull that out. You know what I'm saying? Even if you pull that out, they have their own visions of their own life, so they're not trying to pay attention to yours. It's a very maddening thing, and I know what that feels like, you know. And watching this doc gave me motivation to keep on pushing, keep on striving, and that's the inspiration you can get from this doc, man. The Kanye doc so far, episode 1. I'm gonna be reviewing episode 2 later on this week, and I just want to have time to sit down and just like really soak up some of this stuff, man. Like I'm gonna go start going over some of the live reactions, you know, and just oh yeah, listen to Scarface, yo, the Scarface, freaking like he really turned down. What was that song he was trying to play from? Yeah, he put something else on. And some people don't have that. Some people don't, you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, Scarface missed one when he didn't choose not to go and hop on that track what Kanye was playing from. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And but that's pure example. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's gonna get you. And you mean? And he was focused on, I mean, like in the industry, you have to network, you have to make connections, you know. And shout out to Dame Dash for, you know, saying, giving him his break. That was probably the biggest signing in history, and it was a sleeper. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye took it to a ridiculous heights. He took it to ridiculous heights, and that's the message to all people that are they're striving and creating content. And I mean, whatever your passion or your goals are, you got to believe in that shit, dude. You got to believe in it to the point where, yes, you understand, obsession, and you have to be arrogant about, you mean, your passion and your goals at the same time, because if you do not, nobody else will. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you know what I'm saying, and an ultimate confidence, because that's what it really truly takes. And watching the first episode was do, for him to be known all throughout Chicago, and there's so much parts inside there, and have that groundwork first. This is what I always say, right? This is my theory, or I mean my philosophy, right? My philosophy is you have to dominate home before you could dominate anywhere else. It's not about you're not being accepted in your own city. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But the work you put in is going to have that momentum. You understand? And that momentum is going to thrust you, and you could dominate other areas, but you have to create that momentum. He had so much momentum to the point it became undeniable. And he, even when the people still didn't want to believe in where he went. I remember when he challenged 50, that what it was, graduations. Oh my God, that for him to challenge one of the hottest rappers, you understand, and this was street versus art, and this is one of the rare times art beat street. You understand, in hip hop. That was a huge moment. You understand, and 50 took a huge L, because I don't think he recovered from that. I mean, he recovered from a in a different fashion. I think that Fifth actually got a taste of doing filmmaking, making Get Rich or Die Trying. That film was monumental, and I think that sparked him off in a different direction. He did books, the 50 Laws of Power. That was a great collaboration with Robert Greene. Um, but like for him to take on such a juggernaut of an artist at the time when Fifth pushed Jay out for a second, dude. You know what I'm saying? And that is very hard to do. That is very hard to do, to make Jay take a back seat for a hot second, for at least 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It was 50 land. I remember when being in Brooklyn at the time, and I'm like, yo, I think it was 2002, 2001. Man, when I say when Fifth dropped, you could hear it everywhere, everywhere, and to the point I'm like, who is this? Who? Like everybody's like, yo, you hear this new album? And I listened to that. Oh my god, it was like 18 tracks of straight fire, dude, straight. And Fifth and Kanye had to go up against that 2 years after that, but he still, you know what I'm saying, like was able to go against. So those were two different ends of the spectrum. One was street, uh one was, you know what I mean, art and fashion, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of the, I mean, his creativity was, I mean, he even was talking about Jesus, you know what I'm saying, Jesus walks. I mean, like, she to come out in that fashion, you know what I'm saying, and dominate, you know, like, and the college kid, you know what I'm saying, like college dropout. That was a great theme, you know. But I really wanted to go back into into the documentary, man. There was so many different moments. There was one of his mentors actually just, yeah, man, like sometimes guys, the jealousy is real, you know what I'm saying? And nobody really want to see you go, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a reminder, you know what I'm saying? You didn't do it, you know? And it's tough. It's tough. Sometimes that will happen, you know? And he handled it, you know what I'm saying? He handled it, he recovered from it. He didn't, you know what I mean? It didn't let it get to him. You know, it was heartbreaking to see somebody he looked up to, you know what I'm saying? And he, you know what I mean, like maybe the guy felt like he wasn't given credit. He was given no ID credit over. I forgot what the guy's name was. I'm gonna probably go back and when I do a part two, I'll have the name and everything ready. But that moment right there, that things could have changed in a different direction if he lost his cool. You understand? You don't know how close you are to your destination, and how easily you could be. I mean, derailed if by choosing the wrong reaction. And Kanye's, I mean, they hugged it out, they talked it out, but it was goons, it was Chicago, it was so many different things. And it could have just went left. It could have went left, you know. But I mean, like when you have that vision, you have that momentum, you know, and God was looking out for him. Sometimes, you know what I mean, God will actually will remove things from you, in front of you, and you don't know, realize you're being, you know what I mean, spared. You have a bigger purpose, and that's what I want to leave with content creators, and I want, and people that are on this passion. I myself have this absurd goal, but I feel like I'll be able to achieve it once this actually takes off. I'm not talking about podcasting. This is just a medium I use in order to steer traffic. You know what I'm saying? Understanding this internet and understanding how to market properly and utilize the attention and eyes and stuff like that. And Kanye got that. He understood that. Um, and I'll actually reveal. I actually have a lot of a couple of big announcements coming up in this following week. There's a couple of things I got to get tightened up on the marketing end. So a couple in company in video advertisement and stuff like that, and to actually just put together, I mean, and try to steer traffic in this direction. But this is something that's never been done, and it will be a first. And I can say that with confidence. And I remember, uh, and this, like watching this doc, it was kind of like a reminder of, you know what I mean, like, you know, when you have that vision, you know where you want to go, and you know you're doing something different, and then people are just like staring at you, and it's like they quite don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it until they see it. You know what I'm saying? And when they see it, then you know what I was talking about. You know, I had a lot of different business ventures, and this comes from just trying a lot of different things. You have to. I've done. I've done vacation. I've done. You know what I'm saying? I've done other things. You know what I mean, as well, like street stuff. I tried to rap. Well, you mean in the past? You know, I was too busy chasing skirts. You know, like this. I mean, there was a lot of different things. I had. I mean, uh, a plan to put up solar panels in different countries and stuff like that. A business model that included that at a transportation company model that I plan on actually tapping back into later on. Um, and I have a couple more as well. I just don't want to like let them all out, but it was actually motivation and fuel for for myself. Yeah, man, it was a reminder. Listen, you're on your way. You understand? You're gonna get those dismissive comments and people. I mean, just not quite getting where you're going, and it's not really up to them. And that's where you have to get to. You have to get to unknowing where your destination is. Your destination is not everybody's destination, so they don't really care about where you're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? And when they see it later on, that yeah, it's gonna change the format. You know what I'm saying? So 2022 is going to be a a new direction. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be doing something that will empower a lot of content creators, especially Black content creators, for us to make ways to make money at the same time while we're doing this. Um, having a brand that will that we can market and push. Um, and be able to monetize, and so that way we can make some chicken on the side, man. You know. So this, yeah, like I said, this is a must watch. This Kanye doc is a must watch, man. You know, and just this, you know what I mean, like I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode. You know, so I just want to leave this. I just wanted to um, leave this with content creators and people are trying to do something different. You know, it's not easy. You understand? It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to put a massive amount of time and effort in building and spending energy without getting compensated the way you want to be, you know? And through that, you're going to be able to see the other side, you know? But watching Kanye, and Kanye was just watching early Kanye, it was, I mean, it was humbling, you know, and it was like it makes people, hey, understand, like, hey, this guy was not, he was not well received. Even Jay didn't believe in him. You understand? Like, he didn't believe in him in the beginning, and I want that sticks out, you know. So there's always going to be that little bit of, you know, animosity. I don't even know if animosity, but that jaded feeling, you know, like nobody actually believed. And so, of course, he's going to be boisterous, but as you should be. You understand? After you make it, after nobody believed in you, what do you mean? What do you expect him not to say? Uh, you know, that I mean, that everybody seen it coming? No, and everybody didn't see it coming. Not only did they not see it coming, they didn't. I mean, like, they didn't even want to sign him. You know what I'm saying? He played uh, gold digger in multiple different execs and offices. He'd walk on from street to street, corner to, I mean, studio to studio, and record label to record label, to just get somebody just to get signed, and it was hard. And you got to, I mean, give Dame again. Dame freaking, he's a visionary on his own. You know what I'm saying? He's an entrepreneur on his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the things I've actually uh, incorporated is motivation that he's given out. You understand? And one of those guys that was business savvy when business savvy wasn't associated with black artists. You know what I'm saying? And We couldn't. I mean, we just had to be these. I mean, stereotypical things, and you could be a mogul, not even just a mogul. You know what I'm saying? Just but a force. You know what I'm saying? And you could branch out and do multiple different things. So this is a reminder to creatives, and especially black artists, and people that are trying to do something different. um don't give up on what you're doing. You know, be pragmatic, but you have to chase and actually put so much energy into it, until the momentum becomes a train, a moving train, where if anything tries to, like, if doubt tries to stand in front of in front of the track of success, it's going to be ran over. And by time these little these videos that I'm putting out is just momentum that I've already built up from multiple different failed endeavors on top of that. Like, you have to, failure is not just, I mean, not it's not defeat unless you stop. Failure is something that you can learn from. You look at the pieces, you figure out where did you go wrong, you know, like, and you learn from that. Such a great documentary, man. So, and that's episode 1. So like I said, I mean, I just want people to go in and check out this Kanye doc, man, and come back to the comment section, and we could build, you know what I'm saying, and talk about and discuss, I mean, different passions and different goals and dreams that, I mean, people that have been working on for a long time, you know. And I pride myself in being ahead of the curve on a lot of different things, and Kanye was definitely ahead of the curve, you know. And sometimes while you're doing this and you have the supreme confidence in yourself, um, it's going to come off as arrogance. It's going to come off as you feel as if you're, I mean, above or better than. No, it's not. It's just confidence in the work you've built. Yeah, I mean, that's why I listen to Nip. You know what I'm saying? I listen to, I mean, Jay. I listen to, man, I mean, Kanye. A lot of his earlier work, you know. And life is not a clean, neat thing, you know what I'm saying? And on that path is going to be messy, you know what I'm saying? So go and watch that Kanye doc, man. I got and before I roll out, man, I want people to like and subscribe. I understand that this is probably a long video, but like and subscribe. And I got some artist promotion going on later on this month. I mean, we're going to be doing album rollouts. We're going to be doing brand rollouts. We're going to be doing brand collaboration, brand and podcast collaboration. Um, so this is going to be the beginning of something great. And always have that belief in yourself while you're on that path, man. You know. So I'm a wow. I like this quote, man. The giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing. Wow. Wow. You know, his mom was such a, yeah, I mean, a blessing. I could see how that could, I mean, that can crack somebody. I mean, like, Kanye had his mom as his, you know what I mean, as his, I mean, motivation is the original one that it's instilled belief in himself. And you could see him, he felt like a kid at that moment, but his mom always believed in him, you know, and pushed him. You understand? And sometimes after you getting beat up from the world and the doubt and stuff like that, she was able to recharge him. That is the true mark of a woman. You understand? The ability to recharge. You understand? Her son. You know what I mean? And after the world, you know what I mean, tries to deplete you of confidence and energy. But I wanted to go leave out on a high note. Watch the Kanye doc. leave a comment, and subscribe. And I got more content coming out. All right, over and out.